Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tony, this is the channel Mogo116. Today we're going to fix the only issue that I've had with the Jeep since it was brand new. That little pathetic horn. Let's see what we're doing. So I actually started this process yesterday. You didn't miss much. All I did was put the horns underneath the Jeep. I have the Kleinn Air Horn kit. This is the 220. Let me see if I can find the model number for you. It's the add-on kit if you already have the onboard air system, so you don't need their compressor. Well, let me just start out by showing you the bottom of the Jeep. This will mount two horns right above your rear axle, right up there. I sprayed it with the hose already just to see how it does. It's a pain to get up there. It mounts right across that crossbar that sits right above the pumpkin. It should have enough room to clear. I don't think that I'm gonna make contact with it. All I did from there was connect the line to them and the power, ran it up through the cubby behind the tail light, and here we are. So I have the power wire coming out. The black hose is gonna be coming out and sitting right here for now. And I disconnected the quick connect right now, going to the back of the Jeep. Went to Lowe's, picked up this Cobalt kit, 39 bucks. It has a whole bunch of fittings that you're gonna need. Comes in handy later on if I want to add any more. I bought the Wrangler manifold kit that they sell, but it had just too many ports on it. I don't need them. This Cobalt kit for 40 bucks came with this five-hole manifold, and that's gonna be plenty. I'm gonna screw this right into the tank right there, block off the two outside ones, and run two lines. One for my quick disconnect to keep in the back, one going to be for the horns. So right now all I'm going to do, I'm going to install the T, I'm going to connect everything up here, and then we'll run the wire up to the front. I'm going to have a separate switch. Should be a good day. Let's see how it goes. And the mount mounts onto this cross member that's here. It calls for 3. I only use 2 of the brackets. It's not going anywhere. Here's one of the horns here, the bigger one, and the shorter one goes up front. I have a line teed in. I have to connect it to both horns. The instructions tell you to do this outside of the Jeep before you mount it up here, to have it all pre-wired and teed off. The pre-wiring I found it easier to disconnect the horns completely from this mount, get the bracket up there and mounted, then re-hook up the horns, and that's what I'm doing now. So I'm just going to connect an air fitting right here, another one, if I could get it in the shot, focus, come on, right there to the other horn. It's going to come down, it's going to connect to this T right here. I'm going to connect it up top and hide it a little bit, but I have the ground wire going up, and it's grounded inside up over here somewhere. I'll get to that later. The power wire and the air line both go up into that same quarter panel where I ran the wires for the reverse lights in one of my earlier videos. So let me cut 2 pieces of the tubing, probably about 5-6 inches each, get them hooked up to there, back to the T, button that up, and I'll show you what I did inside. So you don't forget, after you cut your section of tubing, make sure you have the lock nuts that screw onto the T and onto the horns on the line as such. You will shove the line onto this little nipple here, thread on the bolt, and the same thing to the corresponding T. I'm trying not to bend the lines. I don't want any kinks or anything in there. And it is important when you cut these two, I thought of it as like an exhaust header or something like that. You want them to be as close to the same length as possible, otherwise one horn will get used more than the other. The air is just going to take the shortest path. Just little notes. The nut that you need to screw this on with is a 12mm. So you're just going to get that in there. First, fit the hose on, like I said, onto that barb. Make sure it's on there nice and tight. Try not to kink it, and tighten this up as much as it'll go. You're going to do the same on the other side, and then connect to the T. Can't play with it anymore because we got to go out to eat. I have the button set up where I want it. I got plenty of PSI, 195 right now. Everything is plumbed. When I hit this, I'm getting just an air noise. So while I was running the lines for the horns, I wanted to see what else I had laying around the Jeep. I wanted to move the Rotopax mount from the right side to the left, just so that the spout faces the back of the Jeep versus the passenger. While I was at it, I forgot I had my old S-Pod. Now I have the digital one up there. I'm going to remove this gauge. I'm going to mount it right here if I can. And then it has its own hose that should go right to the manifold here. And I'll have a gauge back here as well that tell the PSI that's in the tank. Just because it's a little hard to see from here. Let's see how this works out. So, that went fairly easy. I cut the hole just slightly larger than what I would like it to be. It's the same size that I used for the Ignite lights. I believe 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches, something like that. It fits really nice. Small gap here, but it's tight in there. It's not going anywhere. All the pieces fit back together perfect. No gaps or anything like that. I just ran the line right from the back of it straight up. Have a little bit extra. It came with this quick connect. Now this is all meant for my original S-Pod here, but since I wasn't using it and I had an extra spot on the manifold not doing anything, even though I do have the digital gauge there, this is just going to be something nice, quick and easy when I'm using it. If I have the door open, I can see what PSI I'm at and let it recharge. Now the moment of truth, let's just plug this in here, right like that. So this is a quick connect, you just push it in and it's locked in. If you ever want to remove it, you push that down and disconnect it. I'm gonna leave the line like that right now just to see. Hit the compressor, see if it shows the same pressure as the front one. Turn the compressor on, focus. It is building pressure. I want to see what they both stop at, the digital one and this, and see where it goes from there. More importantly, I got to make sure that there's no more leaks. So this stopped, and it is showing right around like 155, I guess you could call it back here. My digital gauge up front is showing 191 pounds. Now, the digital one is plugged in up front right on the ARB manifold. The rear one obviously is right here at the manifold right on the tank. Doesn't look like it's losing pressure. That's a good thing. So the digital one's showing 188 right now, 189, so it's right around there. Slight discrepancy, but I guess, you know, everyone is different. Just as long as they're both not losing pressure, that's all I really care about. Okay, let's finish up the horns and go from there. Sorry, headphone users, for that last little clip. So we found out, I had a friend come over, JP, he was helping me out with the whole install. Helped me come over to figure out why they weren't working. Everything was wired right, plumbed right, all that was fine. The only thing that we decided to do was take it all apart and just look at everything again. The solenoids for the horns themselves have these two little screen filters inside of them. I found some Teflon tape blocking both of them. We removed all of that, put everything back in, and it works flawlessly. It's actually a little too loud. If you're sitting here as close as I am right now, if it went off, my insides shake. But it gets the job done. Let me show you where I ran the wire up. I didn't show it the other day because I was a little frustrated and tired and it was hot. All you need to do with the horns for the switch, you could ground them out anywhere, and then you run the power line to the switch, and it just needs 12 volts for it to work. So what I did, I ran it along everything right underneath here, and then it'll cross over. I zip tied it here underneath the seat bracket and right to the center console. Sorry, there's a lot of sun behind me. Let me see if I can get a better shot. Okay. So this part of your center console here will just lift up. If you grab it right here, you could pull this up and you could access it. I drilled a small hole, ran the wires right to it. I did not need to go all the way to the battery to get power for the horn because my CB radio, sorry guys, the sun is not working with me right now. My CB radio is already wired direct to the battery, comes through and comes out right behind the glove box. There we go, better angle. So I had power down here already. I tapped into the same power that's going from the CB and ran it right to the switch, and now whenever I push it, we wake everybody up. That's gonna be it for now. I did do a longer video of me holding the button down. I get about 3 to 4 seconds of top sound, and then it'll start to fade out. I held it for about 20 seconds before I finally let it go because it was too long. So you got plenty of horn there. I did not want to wire it to the regular factory horn button on the steering wheel, just because I figured every time I lock the Jeep or unlock it, I didn't want it to go off, and I don't know, it would have been too much. This gets the point across. If I really need to hit it, I can. The brakes on this Jeep, once I went up to 37s, are not performing as they did when they were brand new. So that'll be another upgrade down the road. As you saw earlier, I had a gauge laying around for my original S-Pod before I upgraded to the digital one. Hooked that up here, plumbed it right to the tank, sitting nicely. Oh, fun little fact here, guys. If you have a milk crate and no carpet, fold the back seats down. This is on a JKU. I'm not sure if it'll work on a regular JK. I don't think so. I don't think you guys have the room. But on a JKU with no carpet, remove the little cover for your sub box or the cubby hole here. The crate will fit right before it. Fold the seat back. It'll actually wedge it in place so it doesn't move. You don't need a strap. And if you do need to get it out of the way, you just fold the seat down really quick and it's out of the way. Oh, let me show you what's the next video, guys. So, something I've been kicking around and somebody actually showed me, it was in another group. I believe Siobhan in the Showstopper showed me about this. I purchased this on Amazon. It's just some waterproof USB ports and a 12-volt DC power outlet. These I'm planning on putting for the back seat right in there. I don't know if I'm going to use this little voltage meter just because I already have one, but it came with it for like 15 bucks, so I said why not. Now I already have this panel here for the rear power windows. It should be a quick and easy install because I know that there's an outlet inside the center console already. I just need to steal power from it, run it to these two back here. I think it's a great spot for it. I think it should have been back there anyway. And if anybody's in the back seat and want to charge their phone or iPad or whatever, they'll be able to. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Any questions, leave them in the comments below. Let me know what you think. What should I do next?